This episode of the Nerd Corporation podcast may contain spoilers and explicit language. Listener discretion is advised. We are the Nerd Corporation.
What up, everybody? It's Thursday, and you know what that means.
America's got the case of the Memorial Day mud butt.
Yeah, we are. USA.
That's why nobody's coming into work tomorrow. It's because we all got my butt.
Exactly.
Oh, I still have to work.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, you poor stupid bitches.
Yeah,
Retail-
I finally work at a place where I don't have to work on Memorial Day. It's kind of nice.
Retail industry does not rest, my friends.
Nope.
Old people
I
still gotta
remember
eat.
those days well.
Dude, if you took a day off, all those old people would starve and die.
They really would.
I mean, I used to work at Angie's, so like legit, they would. Those old they would riot, and then midway through the riot, they'd get tired, they'd take a nap, and then their bodies would just give out and they'd never wake up again.
That's how it works.
Exactly how it works.
I'm
no,
a
it's-
doctor.
No, it's podcast day.
Oh,
Oh,
My
well,
name is Eddie.
we've already had Memorial Day at this point then.
Right? Yep. It
well,
really-
what about second Memorial Day?
I don't want to know. Don't reference. Don't. Just
Yes,
don't.
you do,
Over.
you
It's
son of a bitch.
done.
Don't you lie.
It is over with.
Yeah,
We do
it's
not speak
You know
about
exactly.
that shit ever.
never fucking ever fucking again.
That's it. That's it.
Lord of the Rings is gay, bro.
Lord
You
of
know
the
what?
Rings is gay, bro.
You know what? Just for that. There you go.
There you go.
Is that
Bring back some
really?
Lord of the Rings.
Is that really his eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
There's just
funny.
this one guy that's like,
Just
Let's fucking
done.
go.
I really want to come back for the sequel. Yeah.
Probably one of the
he was
guys
like, what
that
can I
died.
do to stand out? So I get hired back. You know, they gotta remember me.
Right.
If Elijah Wood dies, then I'll be right in front in line. I will
I'm-
be the one throwing the ring and
I'm
Mordor.
number 2 on the list.
Right. My name is Eddie Lyon, and I would never fucking say fuck. I would never fucking say it. Derek Reese?
I'm like a chihuahua because I'm tenacious, not because I'm small or annoying. That's just a happy coincidence.
Nick Lewis?
You know, I used to be a real piece of shit. Hair slicked back, sloppy steaks at Trefani's. But people can change.
Sloppy steaks.
And Cole Zimper?
Fuck you, Gavin. I don't dance.
Damn. Welcome back, buddy.
Got him.
Thank you.
They really
Yeah,
do be
it's-
letting that guy from Dance Gavin dance scream whatever he wants, don't they?
He literally do be screaming whatever the fuck he wants. I don't know, man. Dude, there are still people so butthurt over what's his name leaving. And it's like, then you guys are just not like I don't legitimately ever use this because I just don't think it's like fair, right? But the people that are screaming like, oh, not my DGD, not my band, right? Because there's no Tillian involved. It's like you guys are not real fans. You guys
Well,
do
fake
know that
ass
there's
fans.
like three. There's been 3 other singers in this band.
I was just gonna say
Well, and
they've
you
done
know,
this before.
like that's the interesting thing too, is that like pretty much we've been sort of spoiled, I think, in terms of bands just sticking around forever and most of their members being the same. Like, you know, after the grunge era when, you know, half of everybody fucking died, like since then, I mean, we've gotten, you know, bands that have really just had crazy longevity, and that's like we should not get used to that. That's not the norm, people. Like,
Right.
chill out.
Well, it's just weird, like coming from a fandom that has had like 3 major breakups, right? Like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that band will always be. It will be Matt the drummer, Will the guitarist, and
John.
or I'm sorry, yeah, Matt the drummer, Will the guitarist, and John Messes the screamer. That like as long like the clean vocalist will always be interchangeable, like 100%. What sucks about Tillian is that he was the one that was there the longest, and they have
Yeah.
like, most of their like banger modern hits are with Tillian. But Nick, if you ever get the chance, you should look up this set that they're playing on this tour that they're doing right now. Absolutely insanely fire. Like just nothing but new stuff and like super old cuts. Bro,
Ooh.
they're playing like Need Money and shit. I'm so pumped. I'm so like
Wow.
it is a crazy set. So, but yes, I'm back. Hello, yeah, I'm here. I know
You
I'm
know,
coming back at the finale, but or
that kind of
our mid break, but
reminds me of like, are you familiar with the I guess it's not really a um just the story of the ship of Theseus
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah,
and how like it's piece by piece it's been replaced and like there's nothing left of the original ship.
yeah.
Like, what do you do with a band when like every original member is no longer there? Is it like at that point you should just call yourself a new name? Like,
Well, dude, that's the Lincoln Park. That's the Lincoln Park
yeah,
situation all over again. Because like, how many besides Mike Shinoda are original members from that band?
true,
You know,
yeah.
You
I
could
think
say the
like
same thing
maybe like
for Chelsea Grin. Like
absolutely. I don't think that band fucking exists
there's
without
one
Alex
guy I
Foley.
think
Like,
that's
see,
still in the band.
and I think at that point it would be really funny to just slightly change the name to like Catherine Grin or Chelsea Frown, or just do something kind of cheeky, just like fuck around with it. It's your band now.
Shimmy,
I don't.
Gavin, shimmy. Like,
Tango
Stand
Gavin
still, Gavin.
Tango.
Stand still.
I don't know, man. I just those Dance Gavin Dance is a weird. It's a weird example just because they have been doing it for so long. But like the examples that you use, Nick, are perfect. Like I Chelsea Grin is not the same band. I know Pablo's still the drummer is still in that band, but like
Yeah.
that's not the same fucking band. The Ship of Theseus is ever present, man. Ever
Mhm.
present in a lot of the shit that's going on these days.
Yeah.
and we are the Nerd Corporation. Welcome.
I just love that. Anyway, fuck y'all.
Welcome to episode 218. Oh, yeah, one of them. Love you, bye for now. This is our
The
last
hiatus,
episode.
the hiatusinning.
The hiatuses.
The
The, hi-
Asus.
the hiatus. Maintenance.
I
The
got me a
hiatus.
bad case of the hiatuses.
We're just gonna be shit to shit, talking nerd news, and doing a segment of what you playing. Um, but yeah, let's get into it. I'd like to bring back Hose Mad if we could.
Oh, damn. Okay. Who?
Uh,
All of the hoes.
anybody that sucks Zack Snyder's dick.
Who's doing
Yeah.
fellatio?
His wife.
Superman. Yeah, she's fucking sucks too. Fuck her.
Oh, who's
I don't
mad?
know.
Superman
Allegedly.
again? I thought we were over this.
Mm-mm.
No, what do you mean again? Perpetually. It's never stopped.
Yeah, no. Apparently David Cornsweet is not Superman. Not my.
That's what Schneider said.
No, that's just Snyder dick writers are saying, it's not Cavill. Not my Superman.
It's
My
it's
my
not the
Superman.
guy. It's not the guy that Snyder picked. So
My Superman is muscly and brooding. I can't jerk off to this. Like
yeah.
it's been like this guy looks the most like Christopher Reeves that we've gotten in a very long time.
Like
And
Why does it
he's
fucking
not
matter?
depressing. He's not depressing enough to give them like their sad boner.
yeah,
Like,
it's
dude,
it's
Superman has been around for so long. Why does it matter? Why do we still care?
yeah. Yeah, I don't know either. But it's been one of these things where people are just like, no, Cavill's the best, and Cavill's like the most retreated from Superman that any other person that's played Superman is.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well,
do you know how many James Bonds there's been, and that franchise is still like one of the most successful franchises ever.
Well, and it's funny too because I mean,
As long as
James
he's white.
Gunn, first of all, James Gunn has brought us banger after banger. So I don't know what the fuck your problem is. But
Right.
um
Never.
additionally, yeah, additionally, he's gone out of his way repeatedly to be like, "Hey, this is a different iteration of Superman. Here's where I'm getting this and here's what where I'm going." And people are still like, "No, it's not the same as what just happened. So now."
Mm-mm. It
I
sure
don't
is.
know, man. It's like the only example I can use is unfortunately the Bella Ramsey situation where it's like, oh yeah, I mean like I can understand why people, but at the same time, like I sure hope I'm not crying about this in 100 years. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I feel like if this was to just and even then it's silly and it's like why are you arguing over like tiny little minute differences in like people's faces and shit like it at the end of the day you are just nitpicking but like if it was like the 1960s or whatever whenever Superman came out I'm sorry I don't really know when the first comic came out and then like you had like this long
Philistine.
string of like a couple years worth of like comics right and then it's taken over and it's being radically changed and now it's now it's played by somebody else or the character looks different or whatever it's the same shit it's just
Yeah.
different actors instead of like a different
Well, and
I don't know
you
it's
know,
just
and to a point,
silly.
I get it because, e- anybody who likes to read has been there when you're, seeing a character in your mind and you later see it on screen and go, "That's not what I envisioned." Like, yeah, that's a thing, and we all do the same thing. And but the difference is like with me, or I like even with you, Cole, I know you where you like you get pretty hyped up about things, and that's fine, but you're also not gonna just sit here and hold on to it going, "Bill Ramsey, fucking Bill, goddamn Bill." Like that, you're not just gonna sit here red in the
Maybe for a
face, just
minute.
yeah, well, yeah, but not for like the next decade. You're not gonna be like, "Goddamn
No, hell
fucking
no, no,
Bill
no.
Ramsey." Like,
Well,
yeah, I don't understand it. I don't get this need to have such a rage boner against everything.
People are bored. I don't know. And there's also like
Yeah.
I can't help but like I always come down to this too, where it's like this is engagement farming. I am being caught in a whirlwind of just I like my eyeballs are seconds away from like making my brain think
Yeah.
about typing a response to get like to say fuck you to this person on
Yeah.
Twitter that I don't know, like I
Well,
get
and
it.
even
I
even
understand.
while it's happening, it's happening. You're like, "God damn it.
Yeah,
I'm
well, and
engaging. Stop."
it's fun like in situations like what Nick's doing where he's like pointing fun at people like that like it's fun and stimulating to like to poke the bear but you got to be careful because sometimes that can get it's a teetering totter like sometimes you can like
Yeah.
go into like because people dude especially on the internet they're so fucking ruthless to the point where they're gonna say dude they were saying all sorts of manner about you and I felt bad because I was like
Fucking
hey
engagement warriors.
But
well they're
see,
just
apparently,
that's what you do.
apparently, I am a massive incel because I look like this and I don't work out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
That's what
you
it
just have
takes.
to be careful because people are weird, bro. People are
Yeah,
weird
I
on
mean,
the
as
internet.
long as you just put something controversial out there and let everybody else rage bait each other, and like you don't even need to ever respond to it again. They'll
Hmm.
take care of the engagement for you. Like,
Hmm.
That's essentially what happened at first. Like I logged
yeah.
back in and I was looking and it had like 12 people liked you and I was like, "Holy shit, like this has never happened." Like
So yeah, and it's funny because you posted that underneath that it's a Gundam guy. That's like that's the guy that posted the Bella Ramsey thing. I've been
yeah.
following it's a Gundam for a while. He seems like just like another right wing chud guy that likes to focus on
Mm.
like woke media shit. But
Yeah.
and I'm not in no way am I defending him, but he is this is what he does. This is what he does. He grifts. He grifts for the right hand side of things, where he'll he'll pinpoint things that people don't like, and or people that think that it's silly or whatever, like I really don't think that like the main criticism with Bella Ramsey isn't really her looks. I think it's the way that that character is portrayed, and I've even come to the point where a more rational standpoint where it's like I don't even think it's Bella Ramsey. I think it's her writing. I think this is the way that she was written. She's been written this.
Yeah.
She's written to act like an infantile little child, not like a 19-year-old. And I do think that that is like, if anything, that's a slight towards Bella Ramsey from the writers, because it's like, dude, bitch, you look like a child, so we're gonna write you like a child.
Have y'all seen the latest episode?
Not the late like the one
No.
that happened last weekend.
Yeah.
I know what happens in it. I'm following
Yeah,
a
I have not.
podcast. My
I
podcast
have not
guys
seen
do a weekly thing.
So this isn't much of a spoiler, but it ages her from 14 to 19. They
Wait.
they see her
Like you're seeing her progression, or
like it's
like snippets of.
it's Joel and her on her birthday every year since they
Yeah.
went to Wyoming.
Aw,
Yeah.
I
So
like that.
And she just like doesn't change at all.
she doesn't like she looks
That
exactly.
fucking rules.
They didn't even try and like.
They didn't even.
I mean, I don't know. I don't like. How are you gonna de-age her? Like,
Well, yeah. Well, I mean,
even
like,
if you
yeah, you
tried.
can't. Yeah, you can't. But I'm just saying, like, it's just a funny, like at least try, dog. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you could do a. I mean, even if it's just superficial shit, like putting some colorful Bretts in her hair or
right,
something,
or
you
like
know?
ponytails to straight hair or
Yeah,
something. Like,
yeah,
fucking, like,
yeah.
try a
I don't know.
little, dog. Like, I am, like, I don't think she's a bad casting choice at all. But I do agree that she looks like a 13-year-old. I do agree that she
Yeah,
looks not as old as Ellie should look. And for the longest time, I was like, man, just get over it, man. Like, don't fucking like fuck it, like that's what it is. But this fucking montage makes it really fucking hard to defend that shit, dog.
that was pretty funny.
Like,
Look,
this.
man,
Yeah,
it's
like
fine. Like I have never once called in her her
yeah,
acting chops or anything. Like I've if I remember right, I praised her as the Mormont girl from Game of Thrones. Like, girl's got chops, bro. I'm never gonna say that she's not a good actor. However,
yeah,
I do think she got this gig because she was in the HBO circle, and I do think that we got away with it in season 1 because Ellie was supposed to be young, and then we don't let this, even if we waited like real life years before we got out this second
Mhm.
season and therefore out, like I can't tell you like if 4 years would have accelerated her growth. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you can't count on her to grow the same amount of time and or the same amount as Ellie did. So it's
Right.
like you're
you
really kind
know,
of just shooting yourself in the foot by casting her so young or with such a young looking person.
Yeah.
so here's because like I couldn't give a shit about any of that, and I think I just realized why. For me, I have a hard time determining people's age anyway, because I have, without the beard, I am a perpetually young looking person. So like I have a hard time differentiating on sight. So I don't ever try. I don't even consider that. That's not something I bother to ever even think about. So like with this sort of a criticism, I just sort of mentally check out because
Which is fair.
because
No, yeah, totally.
because to me, I'm like, sure, she could be 19, whatever. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I have no idea. So like, I don't even try to like visualize it and go, maybe not, because me at 19, bro, I looked 14. Like, period. Like I will show you. It's very ridiculous. I think
No,
at 19, 19, 20. I was still like 115, 120 pounds.
They should have cast
I
you
was
as
just,
Ellie, dude.
I know, right?
Back then.
Right? For real. No, dude, I was teeny tiny and like I looked like a newborn babe. Like my
You
face
imagine
was I
the
like
could you imagine the everyone fucking left except for you scene, but it's Derek instead. Everyone fucking left except for you, and it's
Except
Derek.
for
oh
fucking
my
you.
God. But yeah, no, and so I think I think that's why that like that's maybe
That
I would
makes
care
sense.
more if that wasn't a thing for me, but
No, that
since I
makes sense.
have a hard time differentiating,
I get it. I don't know.
it's just completely irrelevant for my enjoyment of the thing. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
yeah, no, seeing a montage of 14 to 19 with no change in between. For that moment, I go, okay, that's silly. But then I also
Well,
immediately
right.
after still wouldn't care.
Well, right. The rest of the episode was fine. You know what I mean? Everything else
Yeah.
Yeah.
that happened was cool or whatever. You know, Joey Pants as Eugene. That's fucking cool.
That
Like,
was
Yeah,
really
yeah.
weird. That was really weird. It worked. It works really well, but it was really weird. And
it really.
I'm upset that I was spoiled on that. I mean, just because, you're seeing the little teasers and whatnot, but
Yeah.
So is that all we get of him as Eugene? Like I
Yeah,
really
I think
hope we
so.
get I
I think.
really hope that we get
right,
Carter is
they
dead.
could they could totally do,
Uh,
random made
uh,
up
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
flashbacks,
Could do a
yeah.
throughout
bill.
the
They could do a
series.
Bill-sized episode of them. I'm sure, but
Yeah, totally.
as far as I know,
So
that's all we get of them.
Eddie, how do you feel about that reveal then? Like as compared to the game where it's like, okay, so this is how Ellie finds out that Joel lied.
Yeah. I don't know. It was like I get that I get it. It was fine for TV, you know, because you have to get it out some way or another. The
Because
scene it's
adults are stupid and that we need to turn everything into Bluey for adults. Yeah, I know.
pretty much.
Yeah, I know.
I would have wanted it. I definitely would have wanted it the game way. Although the way that they did it
I
here was
I
fine.
forget what was the game way.
So the game way was that after the museum, Ellie gets like the museum where they go to like see the dinosaurs and stuff. Like Ellie
Right.
sees graffiti on the wall that said liars, but she's also like in this little area where there's like a couple fireflies like died, and she gets like a bunch of these like notes that says like, just really kind of putting this doubt into her head about whether or not that shit would have worked and like all the things
That's
that Joel
right.
said. And then the next flashback, the last flashback that we get with Joel is Ellie somehow just dips from Jackson and goes all the way to Salt Lake by herself and gets into, like goes into the hospital, sees all this stuff, like sees like all the carnage and everything that after Joel left it, like in for some,
Hmm.
video game logic, but they left behind some notes, to say like, hey, it all would have worked. And then there are notes that were written down like after the attack, like
Yeah.
after Joel went and killed everybody. So, they're like they're leaving like slight clues to the fact that like, oh, like they say like the smuggler went crazy and killed everybody and took the girl. So
Yeah.
it's like that's how Ellie finds out. And then they have a little confrontation at the campfire outside of the hospital, and she says, hey, if you don't tell me the truth right now, I'm leaving and I'm not even going to go back to Jackson. But if you tell me the truth, I'll go back to Jackson. But after this, like we're never talking again. And then he
Hmm.
tells her like, I love how subtle it is, because it's like all he says is the cure would have killed you. That's all he says. And then Ellie
Yeah.
pieces everything in her head and
Yeah,
has a
like
breakdown.
holy shit, he's not saying it wouldn't have worked. He's just saying he would have lost me.
It was purely selfish.
And then in the
Yeah.
show, it's like, and this happened. He's like, yeah, and this,
Yeah.
and
So,
that,
but
Yeah.
yeah.
but the thing is, bro, is like I have people that like I have like some people's opinions that I follow, pretty closely, and they are all saying that is the better way to do it. Like it wasn't believable for Ellie, I guess, to go alone, even though it would make more sense to go alone because she's small, sneaky, and cunning,
Mhm.
which you are the entire game. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like and this is like, dude, this is from Neil Druckmann's mouth himself, where he's like, it's not really realistic to have a child, like a girl that small, or a girl, to make it all the way by herself. And I'm like, brother, I can't disagree more. But because of the character that you gave us to play in that game, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I get that. I still feel like I get his point because as wily as you want to be, like there's and absolutely anything could happen, especially when you're alone. Like, I mean, you could get stuck in the side on a piece of rebar or something from falling, and boom,
anything could
you're
happen.
done. You know.
Anything could happen.
So like, I agree that it's not realistic in real life, but who the fuck cares? I mean, I think either one of those I'm fine with just exposition of Bill just being like, yeah, but I'm like I would
Yeah.
have been just as happy with the original story.
Dude, if they could fucking fast travel from Jackson to fucking Seattle, bro, why the fuck couldn't she just fast travel from Jackson to Salt
Yeah.
Lake?
I don't want to get to the point where I'm believing that he's just kind of retconning.
I don't think he's retconning more than he's phoning it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I see him
Yeah,
as like,
because I mean that's the thing. Like, what would a TV audience, if you had been like, yeah, she went all the way by herself to Salt Lake or wherever? Like, I mean, would a TV audience have gone, wait a minute? No, they wouldn't.
oh, they
They'd have
fucking
just
wouldn't
rolled with
have.
it. They just would have rolled with it.
Well, I'll tell you what does fucking piss me off is the existence of spores in this season.
Okay, why?
Because that not putting spores in the first season
The first
was
season?
was fucking half of the reason why they did the shit that they did.
But we have to reintroduce it.
So you have to fucking re-retcon fucking spores back into this. That fucking eliminates everything that you did in the first one.
Yeah.
It gives you no
Yeah.
reason for you to have done all that shit that you did. Like that's the one thing that I'm like, well, fuck, this is dumb. Like the spores look cool and the whole fucking spore out of the mouth, that shit's rad as fuck, whatever. But like now, nothing that happened in the first season, it makes sense for them to have done.
You know what makes it make sense?
Mm.
Season one, they had a specific budget and were told this is what you get. Like, this is good. I mean, it's a lot of money, but you got to make it last. And now they're like, holy shit, people like the shit out of this. Here's all the money you want. And they were like, cool, let's put this back in then.
Yeah, I fucking guess so.
It could be. I don't know. I wasn't super happy with like the I don't look, spores are cool, bro. I wanted spores to be in the first season. I think it is such an
Yeah.
excellent
Yeah.
idea that like these bodies that were heavily infected just become these like little farms. That's so
Mhm.
sick.
Yeah, that's fucking cool. But we didn't even get to see the Rat King.
When? Oh, that the Rat King won't be for a minute. The Rat
Are
King.
you sure?
Oh yeah, that's next season, brother. That's episode 6 of next season. I'm guessing, just because. So in the interview that I watched with Neil Druckmann, they're like, okay, so obviously season 3 is all of Abby's side of the story, right? And also apparently they're also trying to fit in the epilogue shit into that third season.
Into the third. That they
Like,
want to make
that's not gonna fucking happen, dude.
they
Well,
make the
I mean,
third season the final season.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, we've already gotten, you know, what, like all of Abby's story except for Seattle.
All of Ellie's story.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like I don't think they need to go back into much more of Abby apart from like picking up right at Seattle and finishing Seattle.
Yeah, of course, but that's half the game. So that's
Y-
absolutely
Yeah.
going to be like the entire season itself. You know what I mean? Like I was
Yeah.
when we were first talking about this, we were kind of theorizing that it was going to be 4 seasons because like it's Santa Barbara, right? I'm not
Mhm.
stupid.
Yeah.
Santa Barbara and the farm, I think, are going to be like season 4 shit. Like I still think that they're probably going to do that. I think you're high in the night if you think that like it's going to drag so much, bro. Like, and it would make sense too because like it's a duology thing. These are two sides of the
Yeah.
coin, both sides of the mirror, right? Like it would make sense. And then this other season is the epilogue, is the wrap up. It's the I don't know.
I'm gonna call it right now.
Hmm.
Last 2 episodes of season 3 are the epilogue and the farm.
How do you squeeze all of that into 2 episodes, man?
I'm telling you that's gonna happen. You can't. I'm not saying that it's going to be good or that it's going to be cohesive or that it's going to be anything that we're probably going to like, but I'm telling you right now, the last 2 episodes of season 3 are probably going to be the epilogue and the farm.
I wonder if that means it's going to be a 10 episode season. Like we definitely have to get more than just 7 episodes,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I also think that the Abby stuff is probably going to be the among the very best of what we have here because that is such a that's very adaptable or adaptable. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
like it is really really good stuff, and it's like it's just like a lot of high octane, the Rat
Hmm.
King and all this shit like that. There's lots of like really cool budget money friendly stuff that we can just throw money at. Like you want your big ass World War Z slock bullshit fest. Yeah, we can have that too. Instead of just
Do you
having
think
one CGI bloater, we can have 5.
do you think they're gonna build out the aquarium
Yeah.
like to match
I
the
think
game?
that so they've been able to do that like pretty effortlessly, not
True.
only with like
True.
locations, but also like clothes, garments. Like they're all like like extremely close to like what they are in the game. Like if Bella Ramsey
Yeah.
wasn't a baby face, like she would look exactly like Ellie from the game. Like her hairstyle, perfect. Her clothing,
They just need
perfect. Like
they just need to like throw some dirt on her and like give her give her a couple scars here and there. Like
What's that Dave Chappelle? What's that Dave Chappelle thing? Let's sprinkle some crack on him and get out of here.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I also it's so funny to watch people like just freak out over like very obviously just fucking made up in post production like image of Bella Ramsey smiling and it says like bold text underneath it says it's the most hated actor in Hollywood. It's like, dude, no she's not. No she's
Not
not.
even
She's
close.
widely beloved. Like my dad really didn't like the finger blasting scene. Really didn't really didn't like. He's like, I've liked everything so far, but they really didn't have to go. That like, did she wash her hands first? Like, it was really gross. Like, it
See,
really,
and that's such a dad thing to be like for that to be your worry.
That's
Hold on.
that's
This is
fucking great, dog.
unsanitary.
Did she wash her hands?
You
I love
wash
my
your
dad,
hands
dude.
first.
Well, and he's not held down to the same baggage that I am. Like he doesn't
Mm.
give a fuck about like, but it's another facet of like bad casting because it's like I don't know. It really like depends on how crazy you are about that second game. Like if you're not so crazy and you think that second game is much better than the first game, like I do. Like it's in a different universe, my boy. Like it really is. And I don't care how pretentious it is. I don't care how small it is. Like I know that the TV show is trying to do this thing where it's like they're trying to build a universe and they're trying to build this like like Game of Thrones where all the houses and the house creeds and like they want people to be so invested in this shit, so they throw in lots of things to remember and to care and to think about, characters to think about, like I think that like Gail and Eugene are two characters that were like they were not there in the original, but they do enrich the story in
Yeah.
ways that, even though I do think that it is dumb, I think Eugene died in a better way in the game, and I think Joel going to therapy is fucking hysterical. just because it's like, and not from a like, men's health awareness is stupid type of shit. This is just not what Joel would do.
Yeah, this is not a thing Joel does.
No.
He's not that
Well,
type of person. Like, it's
yeah.
in the name, The Last of Us. It's the last of that generation where they don't talk about this shit. They don't. Joel was a contractor who worked with his hands, stubbed his toe. He didn't fucking cry to nobody. Nobody. Like,
Mhm.
maybe his daughter, and his daughter was violently ripped away from him. So it's like, that's not the type of shit that I'm just like, oh yeah, so let me sit in my comfy chair. Here's your $200 an hour so you can listen to all my problems. Okay, so first my real daughter died in a horrible accident, and then my second daughter doesn't want to talk to me. You know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't. Joel's not just gonna
Yeah.
sing like a canary.
Well,
Like, he's
No.
just, I don't
well,
know.
that's the thing, because like while I'm sure Joel isn't necessarily the type to look down on that, I also think that
Exactly.
Joel is the type that just would not get to any level of comfort where he could divulge that information. You know what I mean?
Maybe if they had
I don't think he can approach it himself, let alone verbally express that to another human being.
Yeah.
I think maybe if they had shown like building up to the point where he's comfortable talking to her, like kind of
Yeah,
like
or where
breaking a
he just
wall down or whatever, like
well, yeah,
then
or
it would
like
have made more sense.
maybe not even like a comfort thing, like like it's starting to severely negatively impact everything going on to the point where he's like, look, I hate that I have to talk about this, but if I don't, worse things are going to happen. So I guess let's fucking do this. Like that would be what I would think would be the best way to go about it. But
If I killed my therapist's husband, I would not be telling her all my deep dark secrets.
right.
You know what I mean? Like,
But
Just
even
me.
then, like
Maybe that's just me, but
but even then, even in this episode, like the way that
I mean, it's easier to kill her too.
well, right, but
So,
like the way that fucking Joel kills Eugene or whatever, like it isn't what she said she made it out to be.
yeah.
I
But
don't know. There are cool ideas that they're doing with the TV show too. Like, I still will stand by that the Bill episode is really good. Like, I still think that, like, and it expands in such a meaningful way that lore, that character, that like makes me really think twice. Like, when I play that part in the game, like, I think about like, oh,
Mhm.
when you read that note, yeah.
yeah, like there is
when
so
you
much
find Frank
history.
hanging,
Hmm.
Yeah, like there's so much history behind these
Mhm.
characters, and like I do wish that like there's some of that in season 2, but just not nearly. I don't There's like a huge fall off. It really is like a huge fall off, and it might just be because of like that second game does not focus, like I was saying before. HBO really wants like world building and characters and stuff, but the game never wanted to do that. The game doesn't give a fuck about locations, or like, the game really only cares about one thing: you need to avenge Joel. You need to,
Mhm.
like, the game, and the game like is so good at like picking you up by your feet and just like carrying you, just like lovingly wafting through this destruction, and how, and a lot of it is because it is a video game and you can't really feel these things without like interacting with it and stuff. But I think it is fundamentally a different story. I think that the game was a tight knit story that focused on intense relationships between characters, with some little sprinkling here and there, like the Seraphites and the wolves,
Mhm.
and their whole history of conflict and stuff. Like, that's all like stuff that just kind of enriches it, but doesn't really mean shit in the grand scheme of things. Like I said before, this game is heavy on the metaphors, to the point where it's like basically beating you over the head with it.
Yeah.
Pardon the pun. And I just think that that is the location, that is the origin of why this shit is so hard to put on TV, because I really genuinely do believe that they're like, most people are just too fucking stupid to handle, to put down, to pick up what we're putting down. Like they won't understand because they didn't with the game. There's a
Yeah.
huge, a minority. I still feel, jury's still out. There's a lot of people that were like, I don't get it. This is stupid, and it's like, don't know how, because it's some of the most compelling shit I've ever seen. But you do you, boo. Go watch
Well,
Blue.
and it's so weird too because like Joel dying due to somebody taking out revenge on him for shit that he did to their loved ones is the absolute most logical path for the story to go on. Why wouldn't that have happened? And yet people were like, no, you can't.
I don't know.
It's
maybe,
ridiculous.
Maybe it was like they're like, where maybe they thought that Joel dying was gonna be so like catastrophic, because they did put Pedro Pascal in there, and he's quite the lovable figure in a public
Yeah.
figure. You know what I mean? Like he's very cutesy and stuff, which is like really kind of the only thing that like sticks in my craw about his casting for Joel. Joel is like, and he does really well. I'm not, this is the NITPICH or PKY, the nitpickiest of nitpick, right? Like it's crazy.
Pitch.
Nick Pitch, right?
Pitch.
He's just too soft for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Soft.
No, I get it.
He's too soft. He's got soft hands,
SAWFT.
Soft.
Soft.
He drinks a frappuccino from Starbucks, if you catch me.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with frappuccinos, man.
I don't know. I know that like I'll end it on this because I know I'm going on and on again. But I'll end it with this. I do think in 10 years, I do think Neil Druckmann's going to be like, yeah, that was Craig. Craig was just doing crazy stuff, man. Like and it was cool, but it wasn't like he's going to totally write it off and just be like, yeah, it wasn't my story. Nah, my story, go play the game.
I think part of the problem with what you were saying, Cole, how they're wanting to, world build instead of focus on primary characters and everything else is ancillary and feeds into that, but isn't the focus. I mean, I think that's kind of one of those things where it's the state of current television that's sort of informing that. Like, for example, like Friends, you didn't see them giving too much of a shit about anything outside of the core important people, and that's just the way things were at the time on television. Now, like you were saying with Game of Thrones and all that stuff, like you're supposed to have these big world building shows, like that's the thing you're supposed to do at currently,
Yeah.
So yeah,
sitcoms had like side characters that the main characters would interact with every once in a while, like on Friends, Gunther, the barista, or like the random people that like random characters would date that were kind of like reoccurring a little bit,
Now everybody's got to have a main character arc.
Yeah.
Like, chill the fuck out.
I did like the Josh Peck cameo though.
Yeah, the Josh Peck cameo was pretty cool.
And then comparing that with when Ellie and Dina open up that truck and find all the bodies. I'm like, that was a cool little like
I love that connection, man. I thought that was tying that to Isaac was really like a cool idea. That's really cool. That's cool, man. Like he played the game for 10 seconds and I think that one thing that I was like, that was a dumb idea, was during the interview, Neil Druckmann said, hey, to all of the actors, they said, hey, do not play the game.
That was kind of weird.
I'm like, why?
Whatever you do not look at the source material.
Right.
Why, bro? Like that doesn't unless they wanted to go for a completely different tone, a completely different
I that's kind of what I feel like is or was the case. Like they wanted to do it from a blank page,
And
I don't
dude,
know.
part 2 is dark, bro. Part 2 is
Yeah.
really, really dark. There's some nasty shit that happens in that game at the hands of our protagonist that they built up in the first season to be this sweet, lovable little girl. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's easy to get caught up in the criticism and be like, oh, this guy fucking hates the show. I don't hate it. And in fact, I actually think it's pretty good television. And honestly, like it is. It's just it's my own brain that keeps bringing me out. Every time I see baby faced uh Bella Ramsey, or I see a weird change in the story, or just a weird character motivation out of the blue, like that shit's gonna stick with me just because I'm weird and I hyper obsess over the game. But for most people, I think most people don't care. They're like, I think the bigots are gonna bigot, and they're like, oh, there are, for some reason, there are still people in 2025 still confused over the fact that Ellie is a lesbian. She's not bisexual. She doesn't like men at all. It's not weird at all. I'm sorry. It's not weird. This is shit that's been going on for a long time. You're the weird one. I'm sorry, but
Yeah,
like
for real.
I hate to be so blunt, but it's like
It's
you're
been a
the weird
thing
one
for
for worrying.
thousands and thousands of years. You're the weird one.
Like it's not happening in your home. Like if it really bugs you that bad, just don't watch the shit and just don't, like
Yeah.
there's plenty of things, but like they want to believe that it's like this big agenda, and it's not. It's just that's look, if they retroactively made Ellie gay, then I would be right there with you. I really would. Despite how fucking stinky you are, I would be standing right next to you saying the same thing. But brother, the source material has always been king in my book, and from the very beginning, Ellie's always been gay. So it's like I don't. It's such a weird, strange criticism to me.
Mhm.
Speaking of source material,
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know how true it is, but I was coming across a post on Facebook where someone says that that Denzel Washington was in talks to play Charles Xavier, to play
Could y'all handle
Professor.
that?
Look,
Not
leave it.
y'all. Like I mean, like the wider general audience.
So I'm going to say it this way. I never, never, ever, ever will I ever have a problem with race swapping characters. This one I might have an issue with if they don't retcon his history.
Okay. Why? Because he's Jewish, right?
He's Jewish. He went through the Holocaust.
Black
He
Jews
was,
exist.
I believe you, but have you seen one?
This isn't a Sasquatch
Give me
argument,
one.
is it?
Name one black Jew. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's like
Wow.
have you ever seen a pregnant Asian woman?
Right. No, it's just it's it's just like the culture thing. Like if someone were to say, oh, what if a white guy played Black Panther? And I'd be like, it doesn't make sense
Well,
because the
okay,
culture's
but my question to you then is like, okay, so if they were to do that, are you expecting them to play his entire personal history during the movie? Or because
well, no,
how would
but
you know? How would you know?
well, right, but in
Like
every
it's not like he's out there going, when I was in the Holocaust.
well,
Like,
no, that's true. That's true.
Brother, if
But also
Black
like how
Professor
are they going to
Xavier was in the
represent that?
Holocaust.
Like,
but also to that point, there hasn't been an appearance from Magneto where they didn't.
well, yeah, for Magneto, true.
You know what I'm saying? So
Um,
like at
so like they can
oh
make
wait, sorry. That's what I'm talking about. Is Magneto is who they want Denzel Washington to play. Sorry.
Okay.
Malcolm Xavier.
Well, now you've ruined everything, and I'm totally against it.
Yeah. Right? Like, but I
I
wouldn't
have a
be
dream.
I wouldn't be opposed to having a Black Magneto. Fuck it, I can't.
He's going through all the characters
Yeah.
now. Anyway,
wouldn't-
when Silver Surfer,
Right. I wouldn't have a problem with Mysterio being African American if his
Mysterio.
history.
Bro.
Did I say Mysterio again?
Yeah, you
You
did.
did.
Fuck, dude.
Too many fucking characters, man.
Yeah, dog. I wouldn't be opposed to an African American Magneto if him and Charles Xavier were in the civil rights movement and he still got his powers back. You know what I'm saying? Like that wouldn't bother me either.
Yeah.
But him being black and in the Holocaust, just
Yeah.
like
I mean,
it,
well, if they were to pick him as Magneto, and where they have like highlighted that
Magneto.
as part of his origin story throughout, all of the cinematic appearances,
Say
then they
Magneto.
should.
No, it has to
No.
be Magneto.
you need to not.
God. Wow.
Welcome back, buddy. Welcome back.
Jesus Christ. I'll wait until Cole's able to collect
Wait.
himself.
That fucking rules, dude.
That got me too.
I'm sure somebody's already made that joke.
Because I thought you said Magneto, like weed. And I was like, oh, that's kind of,
That would be
No.
cool too. Yeah, he's green and he's got a big old pot leaf on his helmet. That would be really cool. But
Okay. So y'all got some metal in your bones. Okay. I'm gonna just bend
Uh-huh.
that shit.
he's
Mhm.
like
I wonder what that's like.
he's like floating down and he's like, oh shit.
He just comes down through a cloud of smoke.
He's coming down, bro. He's good.
Okay.
Cloud
So
of
y'all's
dissipating
X-Men, huh?
smoke just sort of.
Y'all got jokes, huh?
Um,
He laughed because he know.
So y'all are the X-Men. Y'all are the ones that are supposed to stop me. You supposed to stop me. You ain't supposed to stop nothing.
but yeah, where Magneto's personal history has been at least touched on in the cinematic appearances. If they were to pick him, it'd be nice to like at least have some verbalization of like, hey, we know this is different. Trust us, it fits.
Right. Like I'm not saying like I'm gonna lose my shit if they don't.
Dude,
It just
I
it would
say
just make more sense.
make a Magneto whole flashbacks of a black Eric in the Holocaust. Let's see what happens.
But only him. Like his mom's white, his dad's white.
Yeah.
They're both regular ass old Jewish people. No one even mentions his race
Yeah.
ever.
He's not even adopted. He's not like just like
And when
He's got Eric, he's got the same name, Eric Lencher. Like
yeah.
It's black for no reason, and no one acknowledges it.
and when he puts on his the scene when he puts on his helmet for the first time and again he turns around and the music swells and his friend is like, and he turns around and he's like, I am Magneto.
No, it would be really fun though if he took off his helmet and he just has this this afro that just puffs out.
Just Jerry curls it.
Yeah,
damn, that's why you're always wearing a helmet.
Fucking soul glows the shit out of it. Just
you're like,
Aerosol.
I wear this helmet because the humidity really fucks my hair up, man.
it's just his do-rag. His helmet's just his do-rag.
He's like the one guy that Donnell Rawlings plays in the Player Haters skits.
Oh, yeah.
Always spraying his hair.
Yeah.
That's his weakness, is you take his do-rag off and you fuck up his waves.
And then he just has to stop what he's doing and fix it.
Damn.
He's like, and then he's sitting there shit talking the whole. I'm gonna fucking get you. I gotta I'll get you, you bitch. Just
Switching gears a little bit, I have a tiny movie review and also another funny movie going experience.
well, okay, but how tiny is the movie?
Minute long.
Not very tiny at all, and went on for way fucking longer than it should have. But you know me.
Tell us what you went to go see.
Any excuse to go stuff my face with popcorn, I will be taking that. and they actually kind of really pissed me off.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
This is a little aside, but y'all know how they do the popcorn buckets, right? You buy the tag for the popcorn bucket, and that makes it so you can get like you always have to bring in your own popcorn. Like they give you a bucket, and you bring
Yeah.
it in, and it's only $3, and it's way bigger than the other one, you know. So of course we invest in that every year. I don't care. I will pay. Like that is a happy fee. I will pay. You know, it's like $50 now, which is a little insane, but you know, that is a price I'm willing to pay for sweet, buttery fucking popcorn. Okay. That's what's going to happen. But now we like get there and our tag expired. I'm like, all right, whatever, you know, just throw it on the tab. Give me another one. They're like, no, we don't have any. I'm like, what do you mean you don't have it? It's a tag. It's a tag. It's not another bucket. It's a tag that says, hey, I'm good for another year. Why don't you have thousands of those fucking things?
Well, I wonder if once it hits a certain amount that they're like, oh, you know what? We're now losing money on this. So
On
I think
popcorn?
they limit it for something like that, you know?
I don't know. If
no,
you're
I think they make you buy a new like a new bucket like every single time because
it's every year. Yeah.
I've tried to like I've asked them about it, you know, and they didn't have them. Like, oh, we're getting new ones in like March or whatever, and then so like I think that
Now
they
it's just the tag. You just buy the like they don't sell they do sell the bucket if you want the bucket, but if you already have a bucket, they don't sell you and they don't you don't have to buy another bucket. They just sell you the tag. Like there's a
oh
tag on ours right now that says 2025, which is funny because why is it fucking up in 2025? Because it's still fucking 2025. Whatever. It's fine. You know, just let me buy another tag. No. So Angela's a real big fan of the original 2002 animated film Lilo and Stitch. So of course the live action got us. They
mm,
finally fucking got us with one of these stupid fucking movies. But I really enjoy that original movie. It's very charming.
It's a great movie. Yeah.
It's a little edgy even for like for Disney standards, just because of like how Stitch is and stuff. You know, like it's they didn't really and there are parts that like where you should really go off. They like kind of diluted and they're like, you know, we don't really need to go too hard on this aspect of the movie, or they went like too much. Like I know that the third act of the movie is completely different. I'll spoil this for you because I know y'all don't give a fuck. But you know Gantu, the big like it's
Was
the
he the scientist?
no, that's Jumba.
Oh, no, that's right. That's right. He was like the enforcer guy,
Gantu's
right?
like he's like the guy that gets
The
sent in
muscle,
because the other two aliens were fucking up trying to bring in Stitch.
right.
And
He's not in there, huh?
he's not in there, which I understand because that would have been a
What?
lot of money to animate that guy. So here's the other thing. Here's negative number one. Negative number one is the CGI in this movie is fine. However, like you know, Pleakley's the Cyclops skinny looking,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
wiggly looking alien. So when he is in his alien form, it is pure nightmare fuel. It is like the most slimy, uh, super realistic eye and iris and like folds in the eye, and like it was like completely unsettling. Like
They didn't use like the same voices from the cartoon or anything, right?
no, that's problem number two. I'm gonna get to that.
Mm.
So they look they just look like aliens, but I'm like, God damn, Pleakley looks like a genuine like something out of an alien, like it looks like you know a rejected alien Romulus creature. You know, like he is shockingly bad, right? Like
Mhm.
crazy. Like he looks good, but he's just like this is a kids movie. That's weird.
It's creepy.
And Jumba's fine, but the problem with Jumba is that he is voiced by Zach Galifianakis, and it is the most flat. I am just here for a paycheck performance I
Mm,
have ever heard. Okay,
lame.
And like they took that character who originally had like a Russian accent and was like kind of
Yeah.
lovable, and like gets to the point where he's like basically like a surrogate uncle for this weird ragtag family that they have. No, he's just since Gunta or whatever the fuck his name is, the big guy's not there. Now we have to have an actual legit bad guy. So Jumba's just right into that, right into there. So Zach
Mm,
Galifianakis is just like the most boring villain ever. Like the gags that were like supposed to very obviously made children laugh, like nobody fucking laughed. Like, and this was an audience. This was like opening, not opening night, but opening weekend, Friday of opening weekend, and there were tons of kids in there. You know, they definitely hit their demographic, and it all like kind of just fell flat. Like I saw a couple
yeah.
adults laughing at the adult jokes, but no
Well,
kids
see,
were like,
that's
whoa, you know.
well, yeah, because Zach Galifianakis and his humor are very dry
Yeah.
delivery, very just dry jokes in general that are meant for adults, like that are almost sort of
Yeah.
like The Office, sort of just flat, dry. Like that's great, but that's not for a
I
kids
don't
movie. No,
I don't know.
no.
And it's just like it was weird for it, like it would have made sense for like I guess a new original character that would have been, but like I don't know. And
Yeah, sure.
the way that they did it, it just comes off as lazy to me because like they and the way that they do like the way that these two aliens, Pleakley and Jumba, like are they can't obviously just be on Earth out in the open because they're aliens. So they
Right.
have this like or they have this device that like they just touch a human being and they like basically get their DNA and like turn into them. So like so Jumba walks up and touches a guy that looks like Zach Galifianakis, and now he can morph into Zach Galifianakis. And it's like, oh, okay, so you guys didn't
Spend.
have the funding to like to register or to render these CGI characters, which is fine. Like, and you look into it, like the Lion King had a budget of 200 million. This one only has 100. So it's like
Mm,
this was clearly like a maybe even like a straight to Disney Plus type of release, but I didn't
yeah.
hate it. It's fine. It's a kids movie. The new little Lilo, the girl that they got for Lilo is very cute, very very fun. um they added like two other new characters in here that just kind of muddles things up and just makes it messy, and there's a
Well,
lot of
and
people that are go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna say, and that's the other thing, like that kind of ticks me off about that is Kevin McDonald was who played Pleakley.
Yeah.
He's from Kids in the Hall.
Mhm.
Such a funny dude, and he
Yeah.
was a great voice for that. And I don't like the prospect of him not being that voice.
I don't know, the guy that they got for Pleakley was fine. I don't know,
Yeah.
it's so funny, like because dude, we stayed up till like 2 o'clock in the morning last night cleaning our house. And I put on this video of Angry Joe. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Angry Joe show on YouTube. He's been a YouTuber for a long ass time, but he's like old now, dude. He's not. I'm sorry, he's not old. He's just like he is an older nerd. I think he's like 45, like almost 50, and he is like pounding his fist over these opinions of the new Lilo and Stitch movie. And I'm like, it fucking couldn't be me, dude. But like I understand, like I get it. You watch that original movie and it does have insane charm, and but like those old movies do. And then a year after that they came out with Brother Bear, which is among the same level of like animation quality. And the saddest thing about it for me is the fact that we're probably never ever gonna get anything like that pretty animation wise like ever again. It's too expensive. Which is funny because the original budget for Lilo and Stitch, that original 2002 movie, was $80 million, which is like fucking insane to think about, like an animated project
Yeah.
like that. But anyways, movie's fine. Take your kid to go see it. I don't know. I don't fuck whatever. It's a fucking Disney movie. But the funny thing is that the person in front of me We weren't able to get good seats because it was kind of like a last minute spontaneous thing.
Yeah.
We got these seats and it was packed, bro. Like there was like almost very, very little single seats. And there was a family in front of us. It seemed like there was a kid, a boy in front of me, couldn't have been more than 9, 10 years old. And he was like, like rocking back and forth in his chair and stuff. And I'm a big guy, right? I need a lot of leg space, right? And I'm already kind of scrunched up next to two people. So, leg comfort is where I'm going for. But this kid, when I first sat down, he was like all the way back, all the way back. So I'm like, I had like almost nothing, right? Like, like almost nothing in terms of, and then he had to like get up and like adjust, and his seat went forward, and I'm like, I'm sorry, kid. I'm sorry. And I put my moved my knees up front and they stayed there. So when he came back, he didn't come back nearly as far as he came up. So I could tell that I was like, oh, this guy's fucking mad. He's like, and then I'm like, sorry, kid. That's
Fuck him.
I need leg
That's
space. And then like the
definitely one of
whole
those.
movie was like, oh, I gotta readjust, and then he like stills his space back. And then I just like gotta wait for him to readjust. Steal my space back. It was very funny. Whoever that kid is, sorry, but that's life, kid. Sorry. Sometimes you're gonna get pissed on.
Much like Eddie with Lord of the Rings, I couldn't fucking be bothered with these movies.
Really? I mean, Lilo's that original movie is like really heartfelt and charming. Like
I don't know. I never got on the track of like watching like I felt like I was maybe too old to watch these. I don't know. Like OG Disney movies like Lion King, Aladdin, like yeah.
These are my OG Disney movies, right? Like I'm 20, I at that time I was 8 years old.
Mm.
But yeah, you should check out the deleted scenes for that original 2002 Lilo and Stitch, because in the original, like in that original movie, the very end of the movie is them flying this alien spaceship through like the mountains of like a Hawaiian area, but they had to cut out what it really was, which they were originally flying a 747 in a very crowded city space. So this was like less than a year after 9/11 that happened. So it's very interesting to go back and see that old footage and like what it was. Like it really was like 100%. They just went in and like just changed little tiny things here and there. And it's like, oh, it's the same scene. It's just not the same locale, like at all.
Interesting.
Which is funny.
Before we get into Whatcha Playin, since you're watching us on YouTube, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon. We want to get into as many nerdy ears as possible, and that is the best and freest way you help us do that. We have merch. Redbubble.com/nerdcourt podcast. Get our sayings and logos on anything from shirts to mugs to stickers to pillowcases and everything in between.
Tattoos.
Tattoos, whatever.
Damn.
Bro, if you get a Nerd Corp tattoo, like, and we get a Patreon back, like, that's free access right there.
Yeah, for real.
Life.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, just super last quick piece of nerd news. My birthday's on Thursday.
I don't fucking care.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. It's officially your birthday as far as this recording is concerned. Like,
That's true. That's
The
true.
day of this recording, yeah.
yeah. The day this recording comes out would be Derek's birthday already. So
You
happy
old
birthday.
Yay!
I'm not far behind you, so
Yeah.
I can't talk.
We've partnered with Dubby. Go to dubby.gg and use our promo code NERDCORP to get 10% off anything site-wide. If you love us and want to support what we do, consider supporting us on PayPal, paypal.me/NerdCorpPodcast. We want to have the best loot, give you the best giveaways, and give you the best nerdy experience, and that is the best way to do that. So, it's time for another segment of...
Whatcha playin'?
What you playing? For those of you new to the show, we go around the screen and talk about the games we're playing and how we feel about them. So, Nick, what you playing?
Well, I am playing a little bit of stuff here and there. Um, Playing my way through Expedition 33 still.
Nice.
Where you at?
I'm in, let's see, the Stone something Cliffs.
Oh goddamn.
Yeah.
Oh brother.
I'm not like I haven't really made a dent in the game, but
That's Act 1. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're about to close Act 1.
yeah, I could feel that something like that was coming up, but looking
That
for this.
lamplighter is a fucking bitch too. I hated that motherfucker.
Oh, dude, like most of the bosses I've just been like, okay, this is challenging, like even for an RPG. Like,
Yeah.
but
That,
I've pretty much like got the parrying down. So
oh yeah.
it's a lot better than dodging because you can if you parry all the attacks in a row, you'll counter them.
You know, it's funny that that lamp boss is the only one that I just mollywopped his ass. I don't know
Did
what
you
it was.
really?
Oh yeah. There are some of these bosses where it's like I do feel a little over leveled, but the game is really good. And like Nick was saying, if you get that parry down, that's like 80% of the difficulty in the game.
Dude, that move that he does where he lights all the lamps up and they fucking come at you, I could not parry that shit.
That was a weird time. Yeah, that was a
You
weird
know, I
time.
couldn't really parry when the one enemy like creates the jars and then shoots them at you. Like that one took me a while
Oh, I know which one you're talking
to
about. Yeah,
yeah.
I shot those jars immediately. Like I couldn't fucking like after a while I was like, no, shoot these jars.
But yeah, I've been using Seal a lot lately. Like she's fucking rad.
That was cool.
Like Kiss from a Rose seal?
Yeah,
I knew
Her
it.
name is CL. It's
CL.
SCIEL. It's a weird name.
But yeah, that's I've been now that I've onto my next game. Now that I finished South of Midnight finally, I can focus on Expedition 33. But
Oh, dude, what a fucking cool ass game, dude.
you finished it too, Eddie?
I haven't finished it.
Oh,
I just finished the Rougarou,
oh
the
yeah.
the owl one.
That
That
was
one.
that was cool. It gets way better. Like,
Hell yeah.
yeah, you I don't want to spoil anything, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff coming up and the story kind of goes into a little twist where you're just like, "Oh shit."
What a
Like,
cool fucking game, dog. Like
yeah.
what a fuck like it is one of those like it is very original and it's very unique to itself. Just that whole like down south gothic lore shit, like I'm eating that shit up.
Yeah, dude, when they just start randomly playing like that kind of music when you're running through like swamps and
Oh,
stuff like
oh
that, dude.
yeah, dude. The
So
music in
good.
this game is so good. This is like one of the few games where I like find myself stopping and reading all of the like
Oh yeah.
text, like all of the notes and shit
Oh
like
yeah.
that. I usually don't
You
read those
don't
things.
read quest text? What the fuck is wrong with
It's
you?
not quest text, it's just random lore.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
Same
with
thing
Fucking
though.
I could listen to Catfish talk all goddamn day too,
dude,
dude.
for real, dog. Give that motherfucker a story or something.
Yeah.
I'll listen to all those audiobooks.
Hazel was coming up and she didn't know right from rain.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Does he have lumbago?
Yeah.
Because he might. It sounds like he might.
Well, he's a catfish, so he might.
I don't know if lumbago's prevalent in catfish, but
We'll start it. We'll
I don't
start
think
that
anybody
rumor.
knows.
Yeah.
But yeah, finished that game. That game was incredible. There was a point kind of towards the end of the game where I was just going, okay, like I would like to finish this game, but like it
Wrap it
wasn't
up, B.
it did yeah, it didn't like make me want to play the game any less. I was just like, man, I've been playing this game for a while. Like, when
Yeah,
does the actual
because
end
yeah,
come?
yeah, you were just
But
excited to get to the end.
yeah, that was a great game. Um, I'm also playing. Um, I am officially just consumed by Schedule One at this point. Like,
That game's fun, dude.
dude, I'm
It's like
almost
you're
50
addicted,
hours in. Yeah.
I need
No, I
to
can quit whenever I
like
want.
drugs.
I can
like
stop whenever I want. I'm not playing right now.
It relaxes me. Okay.
But yeah, like I've got the barn in Schedule One. I've got like my little operation going. And lately I've just been like I've been experimenting with like mixing,
Drugs.
yeah, mixing the meth with different ingredients, and I've gone like I found one that a strain will say that I make that like has comes right out the gate at like $120 like street value. So I'm
holy
like selling it
shit.
for 150.
Hell yeah.
But you
So are there ever like things that you try to mix that it's like you can't mix that?
no, you can well,
It
I don't
just
think so.
I think it just says like this isn't worth anything.
Like you can't
Uh,
mix like meth with weed. Like
Yeah.
because when you go to the mixing table, there's a spot for the product and then the mixer, and the mixers are going to be like random shit like donuts and bananas and Viagra. Um,
hell yeah.
so the one that I've been making
That
is I
sounds like
make
my
I make
breakfast.
I make the base meth with donuts, and then I mix that meth with Adderall, and it becomes what is it like death pussy or something like that, or like
That's
it
fucking
some
rad,
weird
dog.
name, dude. Yeah, but I'll just like make a shitload of that and then just like sell that. Um,
Sweet treat.
yeah, I haven't gotten around to unlocking making cocaine yet. It's in the game. I just don't know. I
How to
don't know how
unlock
to
it.
get to it, but I refuse to like find out
Look it
like
up.
on the internet. Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
like I'll just keep doing what I'm doing.
Until you
Eventually,
figure it
it'll
out.
happen.
Maybe you just won't get into the cocaine game, you know?
Maybe it wasn't meant to be.
Is
Right?
what it is.
Um, on the subject of like simulator games, I'm playing this weird laundry store simulator game.
Oh yeah.
Like I was under the impression that you just buy a laundromat, but you work in this laundry store. People bring their laundry in, and I have to fucking do it for them.
That's fucking crazy. That's like arcade simulator.
Yeah, but the funniest, I haven't made a TikTok out of this clip yet, but like in the coin operated laundries, um, people will get stuck in them, and you have the option to help them
Yeah, your stepsister.
or help them with love.
That's
Legit your
amazing.
stepsister.
That's
Man
amazing.
or woman, like it doesn't matter who it is.
Help
So
step
you're a
bro, I'm
woman
stuck.
today.
When you
You're a
help when
woman for the next 30 seconds.
yeah, when you help them, they just like, they're on their way and they pay their coin fee or whatever. When you help them with love, they leave with like little hearts popping up around their head.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
Um shit, man. I'm playing Cyberpunk 2. I bought that shit on sale.
Hell yeah.
Um Amazed at how well my computer can run it. Like, because Cyberpunk just sounds like a game that like needs a lot of hardware, but I'm sitting here playing
Yeah.
it at like 75 frames. Like,
Yeah,
It
same here.
runs
Yeah.
so well.
yeah. So
You
that's been
are the
fun to get back
cyberpunk.
into. I am. Um, Jumped back into Valorant with my friend the other day, so we're playing that. But as far as like main focuses, those are kind of what I'm playing right now. I'm just waiting for Tony Hawk 3 and 4 to come to Game Pass.
Oh yeah, dude. I
Um,
cannot wait.
oh, and fucking I've been playing Doom Dark Ages, and that game is ridiculous. That game's so fun.
Is it?
Oh, we'll
Oh
get
yeah.
into it, brother. We'll get
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah. I'll just leave it at that for now.
All right. Cool. Derek, what you playing?
So I am playing the usuals, Fallout 76, World of Warcraft. They they brought something back to WoW that they had a couple of expansions ago, which I thought was really fun. Which they're called Horrific Visions. They're just like little instanced versions of both faction capital cities where they've been overrun by N'Zoth, who's like this elder god, like Lovecraftian sort of thing. So it's all, purple and tentacly and stuff. But they're super fun. Um, I've been having a lot of fun playing with those. Uh, except the only thing that I dislike about it is that they, like everything, have time gated it, so you can only sort of dip your toe in. Like the thing is that it has all of these different affixes, all of these different things that, increase the difficulty as you go. And so to offset that, obviously, they have a little talent tree that you can put talents in to increase your ability to withstand these affixes or outpower them and things like that. But that's what's time gated. So you can only get like one row of buffs this week, and then that's it. So there's really only so far you can go into it without getting your face stomped in. So it's pretty obnoxious that they're time gating it, but what the fuck ever. It's still fun. It's still
Blizzard's
fun.
gonna blizzard.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been playing that Fallout 76. Fallout 76 I've sort of taken like a little bit of a, not a break, but I'm certainly not as, like, I'm not playing daily. But even so, like, this season is about to end, the current season, and I probably only play like 3 or 4 days a week, like enough to get, the weekly season thing done and get some of my dailies done, get the weeklies done, and I'm still over 100 rank for the season. So
That's
like,
crazy.
yeah, they've made it really easy to stay caught up on seasons. I mean, I may or may not be able to buy absolutely everything on the season board, but
You get what you
I've
want.
already I've already bought like the main things that I'm like, okay, I have to have that. I have to have that. I'll die if I don't have that, but but no, I mean it's so that's fine. I'm not too worried about it. It's good. But I started playing Balatro.
Hell yeah.
How do you like it?
I'm not sure how. I mean, I literally only played like the very, very, very start
On
of
your
it, where it's
PC?
kind of no on PlayStation.
Oh, okay. Fuck yeah.
'Cause
Do you
it
have
Yeah,
a
was
it's in
trophy?
it
the
was
it's
Trophy?
game of
it
the,
was
it's one
free.
of the monthly games. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the monthly games. But so yeah, like I don't quite understand it yet.
You
I
won't.
was just
You
like,
won't get it for a while. Just keep playing.
yeah, I was like, I don't know. I'll just do this.
It's like a
Oh, I
walnut,
won?
brother. Once it's cracked, oh,
Yeah, dude. Like it's crazy because
so good.
I was the same way. Like I was just kind of apprehensive. I was just like, it's a card game, like it's a poker card
Yeah.
type game. But the moment that I started understanding like what the different cards do and what the different jokers do, and fucking like getting the winning hand in like one
Yeah.
shot or whatever, like it starts to get fun. So just keep at it.
Hell yeah. Cool, cool. And I started playing some Rocksmith.
Nice.
Right
Yeah,
on.
started getting a little back into Rocksmith. Like it's always so weird for me because like I expect the strings to be inverted, but they're not. So like I always, it always takes my brain a minute to like go, oh wait, no, I just put my fingers where I normally would put my fingers. It's just sort of, it's not a mirror image like I would expect it to be. It's not like
Yeah.
flipped upside down. So like it's really, for some reason that's weird for my brain. I don't know. I have no idea why. I want it to be
crazy.
flipped upside down. I don't
Yeah, it's so crazy because like when
But
we would practice and you and Dave would stand in front of each other, y'all were standing in the exact same way that you
well,
would be
yeah,
looking at the TV.
but I mean, but that's different though, because when I'm looking at it on the TV, it just shows, the strings, but
I got it.
it's not like it's indicating like here you don't see the body of
Oh,
the
gotcha, gotcha,
guitar,
gotcha.
you don't
Oh,
see the
God, okay.
headstock. And so for some reason, like yeah, I just want it to be flipped upside down. I don't like you know, I guess I want it to be flipped upside down, like if there was a guitarist in front of me, and I'm watching what they're doing and like thinking about reversing it. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right, right.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's weird. So I always have to like think about it. And so then I'm missing notes the whole time because I'm like, wait, do I? Oh yeah, yeah. But I wanna get the whole reason that I re-grabbed it was just so that I could maybe get Taylin to fuck around with it, see if she would be into
Oh, that'd be cool.
teaching herself some guitar. Both Serenity and Paxton have talked about, like, they've mentioned that especially Paxton has mentioned that he'd like to learn how to play guitar, and I was like, well, dude, I should just rebuy this game because they can just come over and play it. But yeah, so but of course, I want to fuck around with it too. So
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
but yeah, that's for the most part that's what I'm playing right now.
Very cool.
Eddie, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
I'll go. So I'm also playing Expedition 33. I am on the second Jestro Beach where you have to play beach volley.
Oh, that's a tough one. Oh,
Dude,
that third tier of that one, I
is
was on that for a couple of days.
dude, I am so because I got it to the very last one and lost.
Oh,
I about threw my controller at my fucking television,
I
dog.
got a feeling this is going to be, for me, this is going to be beat Jules in pull-ups all over again.
It's
I
just
fucking hated that mini game, dude.
yeah, like uh, it's crazy. But Expedition 33 is super fun, super enjoyable. I love the
y'all
story
are not
behind
as
it.
far as I thought you were gonna be.
I had to stop playing for a bit because Anastasia has the Xbox right now since she can't have the PlayStation. So I'm taking like a back seat with that. I'm also
I
playing
just had to
South of
finish South of Midnight.
yeah, and
That's why I'm not as far.
I'm also playing South of Midnight, which is super fun. I'm having such a blast with that game. I'm also playing Cyberpunk on PC, and it's fucking way cool. I'm
Are you
really
playing it on mouse and keyboard or are you playing with a controller?
I'm playing with a controller. Don't
Play with mouse and keyboard. It's fun. It works. It's
I
fun.
won't I won't
It is.
but
That's how I'm playing it.
I won't. But
Brother
that's
gets a PC and doesn't want to do mouse and keyboard.
nah, bro. Sorry, my hands are too arthritic for Wasties.
You fucking
You know,
pussy.
earlier I was telling Misty, I was like, with the fact that Serenity is moving out here in like a month or less, right? And so I'm gonna have a room to put my computer, my collectibles, and everything.
Hell yeah.
Like, I was like, man, I probably shouldn't have even bought the laptop. I should have put that into a PC. And she was like, what? No. And I was like, well, what do you mean? Why? And she's like, well, because then you'd only be able to game in there and you couldn't come and sit with
Yep.
me and hang out with me in bed and play
What a
your game. And I was like,
what a woman thing to
oh,
say.
that's a
What a
good,
woman
I mean,
thing to say.
that's a good point. You're right. That's fair. Because and
Women.
plus, I mean, it is, it is comfy. I do like hanging out with her, like,
Yeah,
so it's not like, I mean, it's fine.
that'll
But
certainly be a good podcast room, though.
That's an
yeah, dude,
excellent
Dude, if you
podcast.
set up like all of your Funkos behind
it's gonna be tits.
it's
It's
gonna be
gonna be
different.
so rad. Well, like, because I mean, think of all of the posters, all of the autographed pictures, all of the shit that I've accumulated that's literally just sitting in boxes because I have fucking nowhere to put it.
Yep,
Like, it's gonna be a dope ass room. It's gonna be sick.
that's gonna be rad. I'm excited to see that.
Hell yeah.
I'm also playing The Precinct, which is a top-down procedural uh, cop game. You just stop people, on the street. If you're walking a beat, you pull people over. You can choose to whoop their asses or not. Like you could.
Do you get like what's the word? Why am I blanking on this word? Um Promotions and shit?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't gotten that far in the game, but I'm pretty
Uh
sure you do. But it's all in this like 80s jazzy backdrop.
nice.
So, you're the new rookie whose chief dad just retired from the force and come on, Rook, I'll show you the ropes. Like it's so cool, dude. Like other
Hell
other
yeah.
I don't know what it is that I saw a game ranks thing. Like how they do the before you buy.
Yeah.
Um I saw it before you buy the precinct and I was like, you know what, I might could like that. And I did.
I might could like that.
Mike could like that, and it was fun. It's been fun. I've really enjoyed it. Um,
Wanted to pull it up, but Steam is being gay. So
mhm.
whatever.
Yeah, and I think it's only like $25.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. Uh, it wasn't much because I knew that if it was going to be any more than like 25 bucks, I wasn't going to buy it.
Yeah.
It slightly reminds me of this game I have called Police Simulator Patrol Officer. Where you're kind of doing that, but it's more of like a simulator game. But
Mhm.
the kicker to that game is the voice of the main character
Mhm.
is and I'm blanking on his name, but the gym teacher from Persona 5.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah, I can't remember.
It's not Koba, that's the principal, but it's a K word, but that's his voice is the voice. And I'm like, that sounds a lot like him. And I looked it up and I was like, holy shit, dude.
Hey, don't be throwing the K word around. Come on, man.
Be better.
Okay, this looks way cooler than I thought it was.
Dude, it sounds weird as fuck for a minute, and then like if you really like look at it, it's not bad. I think it was like 25 bucks on sale. I don't know if it's still on sale yet, but
Bro, so how does the combat work? Like shooting guns and stuff. How does like
so it'll go, it's like a cover system. You sit behind cover, aim, and because I use controller, right? So I aim and shoot just like a normal game.
and you're not like telling the character where to go. You're actively walking the character like you're controlling.
Yeah, you move the
That's
character.
really cool, dude.
Yeah, and
That's
then
almost kind of like Diablo-esque,
yeah,
like
almost. Yeah.
as a cop.
Yeah, and like you go on car chases and stuff, and you have to try to like shoot the tires out of the car, or
Damn.
It's
you're in a
it's the
helicopter.
Coplo.
Yeah, and you're in a helicopter, and you try to like keep the spotlight on the car that you're chasing. So and you'll call in reinforcements, you'll call in spike strips, you'll call in
Hmm.
like it's cool, like it's a really cool game. Um, and that's it's been playing that. I've been playing
What'd you say the title was?
The
The
Precinct.
priest.
The Precinct.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's like 25-30 bucks on Steam. It's
It's
not.
$30
Yeah,
straight up without a sale. So I
yeah,
would imagine it's probably pretty deep sale.
yeah. So, um, and the last game that I'm playing that I haven't played a lot of, but played a little bit of, is called Franbo. Um, and it's about a little girl whose parents die, and she goes to an insane asylum, and they
Oh
give her
fuck.
they give her these pills, and every time she takes the pills, the room changes into something like gory and weird. It's a point and click. um
Hmm.
Ooh, you had me at point and click, dude.
um, uh and yeah, so you'll try to navigate like right now I'm still in the asylum, so I'm trying to get out of there. But like to tell you how crazy and dark the game is, at one point you have to convince a guard to leave his seat so that you can steal the keys from him. And he's creepy. He's like, I'll give you this for a kiss. You know what I mean? Like, and this is a little girl. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it doesn't give you the option to give him what he wants, but he's there being pervy as fuck.
Like it sounds like the opposite of the concept of We Happy Few.
Yeah, yeah,
A
pretty
little bit.
much. Yeah, it's Franbo.
Animation looks really cool.
It's super. It's like super. Like I would call it Burton-y without it being Burton. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's very much its own thing, but it's got this like very weird animation style. And when you take the pill, everything is red and gross and bloody and like shit is like it's cool. It's super cool.
Hmm.
You guys should check. It's a very short game too. I think it's only like a couple hours, some shit like that, and it's
It's only
cheap.
$15.
Yeah. So, but that's all I'm playing. Cole,
Yeah.
what you playing?
Three things, two things of note. I am still playing Expedition 33, but I have been horrendously busy lately, so I have not found the time to sit down. I thought I finished it, but I definitely didn't. Game continues to go on.
Who do you guys have the most points into? Like who's your main?
So my main is Mael because she's a fucking beast.
Yeah, mine
She's so
too.
insanely strong.
Yeah, mine too.
In terms of like Lumina points, I did the thing that's most likely going to bite me in the ass later, but everyone is equal. So it's like if I go into the thing and someone's like, I'll base it off of like whoever's at the highest level. But if someone has like 46, I'll be like, okay, everyone's going to 50.
Yeah,
Across the board, everyone goes to 50. And if I have any more, like I'll delegate from there. But
yeah.
it's mostly just uh I have Monoko uh mostly just because he is a you need him for a trophy later on down the road, to get all the feet. And he almost kind of acts as a healer for me. And then it's Mael and it's the other guy. I can't say because it's a spoiler.
Verslow.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, Verso. It's he's also a beast, but compared to Mael, he's like nothing.
Yeah.
Mael is so sick, dude. She's like just an absolute fucking tank. I've turned her into a little bit of a glass cannon, so she's not like, super durable, but goddamn, she can.
Well, mine is but mine isn't
Yeah,
super durable either.
you don't need to be durable if you just fuck people's faces.
Yeah.
Right. Well, no,
My,
she's got like some moves, dude. Like she's got some end level moves that take a lot of points, a lot of AP points to do, but they're like 4 or 5 hits. And I have her so strong that we're not even being buffed. I can have her do 999, so like max damage on every one of those hits. And I'm like, fuck, man,
that's rad.
feels good.
You
So
got to share that build with me because I'm trying to main my L too because yeah.
I'm just doing mostly fire. Like, uh, so if you have somebody that follows up with fire really well,
Hmm.
like my previous strategy was Lune, that's right, Lune,
Hmm.
because she's obviously a cast like a magician special. So she's like, she's got every single spell in the book, and she has this one spell that sets everyone on fire. And as long as she's not being damaged, it like progressively ramps up in terms of damage.
Oh shit.
So, and then you add that on top of like Mael has this move that if a target is burning, you can take her into virtuoso mode where
Hmm.
she does plus 200% damage.
Holy
So
shit.
she's clearly like the character that they want you to like break the game with.
Hmm.
And story wise, I think it's great. I think it continues to intrigue, and I think it continues to deliver on satisfaction. I really do. And again, their first fucking game. I can't believe they did it.
Yeah.
as well as they did. I'm gonna try and finish it as soon as possible because I would like to do some sort of cast on it. That would be rad.
Yep.
I'm also playing Super Metroid.
Nice.
I am patiently awaiting until June 5th, so I get this nice new shiny piece of hardware, get to see what the hype's all about, and I'll probably just be playing Super Metroid on it again.
Hell yeah.
um I'm just kind of getting in the mood. Nintendo's kind of got like a little bit of a chokehold on me. I was playing Metroid Prime 2, but once again, the Metroid Prime games specifically are just not vibing with me. I don't know why. Like really only 2D Metroid is something that like I want to stick with and like continue to play. Like
A week
I
from this Thursday.
no shit. Fuck yeah.
A
Hell yeah.
week from
Yeah,
my
dude.
birthday.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. Good 2 weeks then. Super Metroid's fucking rad, dude. Metroid is like it's crazy how much it was inspired by Alien. Like there's so dude, it's crazy that I didn't really even like realize it before, but like the environments and everything are all very very Geiger and very very like alien-esque. Even down to like the more blatant things, you know, like the dragon character being literally named Ripley or Ridley, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, Ridley.
It's pretty obvious, and I thought that shit was really cool, so I just started playing Super Metroid again, and I'm like, damn, this game fucking rules. It's
Hell
just
yeah.
the music and the exploration and everything. I've officially hit the stride moment of a Metroidvania where I have all of the meaningful upgrades to make it so I can explore the whole map. So now I'm just filling out the map. I'm jumping to every place I haven't been to, and that's like the most satisfying part of a Metroidvania for me. But the game I really want to get into is Doom: The Dark Ages.
Hell yeah.
Because I have I have a few things to say. Um, first of
Do
all,
it.
preface for the upcoming rant. I think that this is a good, if not great, game. I think it is fucking rad that id Software gave us three completely different types of great shooters. Like they gave us three different shooters and they're all wildly different, but they're all really good. You know, like they're all like objectively they're really good, despite what I'm about to say. But
I knew it. I knew it.
what do you what do you mean?
I knew there was gonna. I don't know
There's
what it
always
was.
a but.
No. Because Colt, when he comes to Doom, is usually pretty positive. But I don't know what it is about this Doom where I was like, we're gonna hear something from Cole.
You know what really grinds Cole's gears?
I don't know. I'm being really hard on this game because it really is like it's a good game. It's fun. Like there's plenty of and like I think the best thing that it does is the spectacle, right? Like the big bombastic. You're literally driving you're flying a cybernetic dragon. Like there's lots of spectacle and cool shit in here. But
However,
I do think that this is hands down the weakest of the trilogy. I think it is a pretty substantial step back in terms of like a fun, uh, meaningful and interactive combat sandbox where those first two games, but Eternal especially, so the follow up, right? Eternal was really all about those guns, movement, and then enemy, like knowledge of enemy type. Because there were specific guns that would handle specific demons way better than other ones, right?
right.
Like just for an example, there's a couple guns that can do something similar to this, but like that first shotgun that you get in Eternal, you can mod it, the first mod that you can get, where it shoots a sticky bomb. It basically shoots like a sticky grenade, right? And the cocodemons, the big floating eyeball things with the giant mouths, that was one of the earlier tutorials of like, hey, here's a quick way to kill this enemy because you're going to need it, because there's going to be fucking dozens of them trying to kill you at 1 second, and Eternal really like lays it out for you and is like, hey, like this is how it literally even has like a window pop up after you've like quote unquote learned everything that they had to show. Like it says like these are the tools to doom Eternal. Like learn this, use these tools and you will be successful. And then the game proceeded to stomp the ever living shit out of you, especially if it was like, if you're playing on Nightmare or the one underneath that, which I think was ultra violence, something like that. Those are brutally fucking difficult, dude. Like when I got the platinum for that game on PS4 in 2020, ain't no way I was playing that shit on Nightmare. I was playing that shit on like Hurt Me Plenty or something, like the normal. Like it,
Yeah.
the game wants to overwhelm you because that is where the fun is to be had. The fun is flying around, shooting this guy, getting this guy almost ready for a glory kill, focusing your attention to the big guy, and with all of your ammo, and then calculating your next 5 steps. It's like it's ahead of time because it's a very delicate dance, and it makes sense. And Doom 2016 had some of this, but not nearly to the same extent. It was really like, here's a bunch of guns, here's a bunch of demons, here's some badass music, go kill shit, right? Which totally fucking works. Doom Eternal throws a lot of this out the window. Some of it works, some of it doesn't. They're really going hard with story, which is funny because nobody gives a fuck about what's happening in Doom. It really, and like I get it, I understand, but like you want some level of like cinematics and production value, and you paid $70 for this game, so you want some value on the screen. Like I get it, and if you're looking for that, it's good. However, it's the shallow end of the pool. I promise. There's really nothing meaningful really going on at all. Like there's a cool, I guess there's like a cool story where it's like, oh, the Demon Slayer is, the Doom Slayer, my bad. The Doom Slayer is under the control of these people, this race, and it's cool to watch him like break out. But there's never been like I'll say the same thing about Doom Eternal. It's dumb as shit. Like it doesn't, and it never made any sense. It just was a cool vehicle to get you from one set piece to the other. That's all it really needed to be. And I don't really know how serious they were going for with tone with Dark Ages, but like it just seems like there was a lot going into the storytelling with this, and it's just silly because it's dumb, and it always will be dumb. But it does not, it's still a fast-paced fun shooter, but I have to play it for a way longer before I have like an eloquent way of saying this shit the way that I normally do. But the guy that said, hey, we should not have glory kills in Doom anymore, get that guy the fuck out of here. Get him
I was waiting
gone.
for this to come up because I feel the same way.
So there are still some in there, and they're still kind of cool, but it's like
glory strikes.
Do I have to do, because the only cool one in my book is the one where you come down from the air, like you have to jump up in the air and like activate it coming down, because you'll literally like stomp them and then stomp their head, which is in every Doom game. If they didn't have that, I would be screaming right now. But like, because it's just like, that's like, it's as cool as shit. And that's always like, it's got to be in the Doom Slayer's like repertoire, right? Like he has to be stomping demons' heads like they're nothing. You know what I mean? Like that's just the power. It's part of the power fantasy, right? But that's the only cool one. So it's like, and I'm not gonna do that same thing for every single demon. You know what I mean? It's just it's silly, and their replacement, their idea of replacing it is like it's just it's a random animation of him like punching up with both hands, and then also a boot. And I'm like,
Yeah.
and then you tie that. Oh man, I really this one really broke me, and I want you to know that there's ammo that you have to pick up in game to use your melee
What?
to use your melee attack. Let me say that again. You have to pick up ammunition like you would a shotgun. You have to pick up these fists, these floating fists all over the battlefield. And that's how you
Wow.
commit. What are we doing? What are we doing?
No.
Apparently picking up fists.
No, dog. No.
Very strange. And like I know that like you get some back through playing the game and stuff, but I'm just like, come on, man.
Why? Why?
Why don't you just make it useless like it was in the other games? Like, why does it matter, dude? I just want to shoot shit.
Yeah.
Like, I want to
Yeah.
shoot shit and I want to
That's really
smash
weird.
heads. And
That
it's
is
like,
incredible.
well, their whole new thing is the shield, right? Like, and they do have some cool things in there, some cool ideas with the shield. Like, I like the idea of like warming up hot metal and then throwing the shield. I think that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Like, it's like an explosion, which is cool. And that also using that for like area traversal. I think that's a great idea too.
I
But
like the when you throw the shield at like a bigger enemy and it just stays in them and like
yeah,
rotates
cool
and they're
idea.
just like, oh,
Very cool idea. Sticks them
yeah.
in this stasis where they can't move, and you can just sit there and unload on them. Cool. That's a
Mhm.
very cool idea. Doing that 30,000 times, though, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, and again, I've only played for like, I think I looked at my Steam, I'm like just shy of 3 hours. And I 100% of the first level, and I'm close to doing the same with the second level. So like I am not far in. You can take what I say and throw it out the window. You don't want to listen, whatever. I will tell you though, I'm a huge fan of those two first games. I think they are wonderful, especially Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal is like, it's unfair to compare this game to Doom Eternal because Doom Eternal is like upper echelons of video game. Like it is truly one of the greats. So following up that game was always going to be a challenge, and I didn't want this game to be better than Eternal. I didn't want that. I just wanted another Doom game that was cool, preferably had Mick Gordon music, and don't worry, I'll get to that. I want like they've set a precedence with those two first games where it's like, okay, and I do think that they somewhat achieve more or less. Like it's still a cool game. It's still fun. It's still got crazy set pieces and stuff. Like you can tell like there was a lot of work put into this, but I'm just like, okay, but like, why? Like why shake, and we want to shake up the formula, but they're shaking up the formula and then there's throwing out the formula and putting new formula in there. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make sense. And like they're going for like brick shit house, right? Like that's how they want the Doomslayer to feel in this game. So you're just like, every single time you fall from a certain amount of height, you're doing this superhero landing. And I'm like, there's an animation
God.
for it and everything. And I'm like, stop, please, God, let me move the way I want to.
That reminds me of Fallout 76, and I hate that.
Yeah,
I hate
it's
that
the same
shit.
thing here where it's like, and it's cool because it like, if you do it like in a room full of enemies like that, it's an AoE attack. So it's going to decimate all the smaller enemies, which is cool. But again, after the 47th time, is it that cool?
Yeah.
And you can say the same thing for 2016 and Doom Eternal. Really, truly, you could. However, they gave you way more. Like I don't know. In terms of like animations and kills and glory kills and stuff, like
Just a
that
lot
is
more
where
variety.
this game is like really lacking.
Yeah.
But and I'll leave it with the music. Uh they tried. Give them a cake. You tried, boo boo. Really, really,
Damn.
it's so uninspired and just
The
not.
good old Bart Simpson, at least you tried,
It
cake.
sounds a lot like they tried to get the chugga chugga guitars from like the newest Sleep Token album, and they're like, this is good enough, because that's all it is just chugga 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 chugga. You know, like there's no like cool. And again, once again, I'm only 3 hours in, but like it's like it is taken a real backseat, like a real like it is. You could have had a bad bitch. You know, like I really wish that Marty Stratton and Mick Gordon could have acted like men and gotten over whatever the fuck the problem is. And I know that we don't know the whole story and somebody got fucked over. I'm almost positive that it was Mick Gordon that got fucked over. But God, it sucks. And I see him on TikToks just doing crispy licks. Oh God, it's
Yeah,
so sick.
yeah.
He's just
I
ripping them
seen it
chords.
too. Yeah.
And you've seen this other, I saw this other post where he's working with Bring Me the Horizon and doing some of their shit for their newest album. And I'm like, I can only get so hard. Like it, I just see him doing work, and it's like, man, imagine if he had like a medieval flair on whatever he was doing with Doom Eternal and just made it just so sick. Ah, we really could have had a bad bitch, but you know, whatever. And honestly, honest to God, I'm telling you right now, if we had Mick Gordon and that soundtrack was killer, I wouldn't be complaining about the gameplay. I wouldn't at all. I
Damn.
would still I would tell it I would tell it how it is, and it's like, yeah, I would say exactly how it is, but I wouldn't be down on it the way that I am. Like my personal opinion is it is a good shooter. It is not a good Doom game at all. Like I just I don't know, man. You set the precedence. Like you gave us two fantastic games before and then just didn't follow up, which is fine. It's
Right.
fine. It's just it's hysterical that this game costs $10 more retail than the other two games. It's a way inferior product, but you know, I'll stop.
Not for me.
No, I oh yeah, Game Pass and all that shit, but that's the other thing too is get it right, Game Pass on PC, because I booted up. Angela bought me the version of the Steam version, and I started playing it Steam version, and I started playing it. Had no issues at all. Is running crisp. Like it's insane. Like I run the same settings and everything, but I did do the Game Pass thing. I downloaded the game. I thought it was like natively installed on my just runs at half the frames and looks like shit. And I don't know, just weird. I tried Game Pass. I tried. All right,
Crazy.
you fucked me up.
One game,
Not-
and he says he tried.
But yeah, that's all I'm playing.
Oh yeah. Well, that concludes our episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what you think in the comments. We'd love to interact with you. As always, you can follow us on social media.
On Facebook at the Nerd Corporation, a podcast.
On Blue Sky and Instagram at Nerdcourt Podcast.
Or you can find us on TikTok at Nerdcore Podcast.
And since you're watching us on YouTube, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the little bell icon. We want to get into as many nerdy ears as possible, and that is the best and freest way to help us do that. If you love us and want to support what we do, consider supporting us on PayPal, paypal.me/nerdcore podcast. We want to have the best loot, give you the best giveaways, and give you the best nerdy experience. And that is the best way to do that. Before we let you go, I just wanted to tell you, the viewer, thank you from all of us. We don't know what
We
we're
quit.
doing.
This is the last episode.
We don't know what we're doing here. Don't think we ever will. But we do this for the love of the game. We do this for you guys. But we also do it for ourselves because these are the things that we love, and these are the things that we love to talk about. within ourselves. So we figure we'd share it with you.
And nobody's paying us.
Yeah, nobody's
Well,
paying
and
us.
also this is like the only FaceTime we get as older adults with our friends.
Yeah.
True.
So
It's a good way to stay in touch.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to spit a little gratitude before we leave. But yeah. So from the very bottom of my heart and everybody's, we thank you so much. We love you. And as always, keep it nerdy, y'all. We'll see y'all in July.
And remember, kids, I am Magneto.
I knew he was gonna. I fucking knew it.
Bring it back.